What's up, everybody? Welcome back. The waiver wire is buzzing, and this week's pickups could be league winners. Whether you're replacing an injury, chasing upside, or just looking for that breakout player, I've got the top fantasy football ads you need to grab before your opponents do. Let's break it down. All right, let's start off with our quarterbacks. These are the three fantasy quarterbacks that you need to add in your league. We're going to start out with a very stable one. He's actually available in this league. Only rostered about 2% of leagues. It's Spencer Rattler. He's ranked as the QB 18, and as you can see, he's been very stable this season, scoring you at least 11 fantasy points every single game. He got you 22 one week, which was a great boom week. He's shown his upside. And as you can see, he's been trending up, starting the season with 11, and now he's already up to 13. He's playing the Giants next week, which is one of the main reasons why you should add him, because the Giants are a little bit of a weaker team compared to some other teams. So the game will be close to where they're still coming back a little bit. So Rattler will have to pass the ball. But at the same time, it won't be so far as where they take him out. All right, now let's move on to our second quarterback. It's Carson Wentz, also a very stable option. In his 2 weeks since JJ McCarthy got injured, he scored 15 and 21. I think he can get another great game this week in their game against Cleveland. I think that the Vikings have a great opportunity here, and so do Carson Wentz. All right, let's move on to our third guy. This guy might not be available in leagues. It is Matthew Stafford. As you can see here, he isn't available, but that's actually because I picked him up. So he might be available normally. He has done great so far. As you can see, he scored 27. He's provided that floor, kind of like a Spencer Rattler with a little more experience. And as you can see, he's rostered in way more leagues. All right, now we're going to move on to our running backs. And these are the three fantasy running backs that you need to add in your league. First up, we've got Kenneth Gainwell. He's on a bye, so it might be easier to add him because he won't show up near the top. But he got 30 fantasy points against Minnesota, and they're coming back against Cleveland in week 6. So you need to prioritize adding him if you haven't already. He could compete with Jalen Ward for the leading role here. An amazing game. He's shown a little bit of a floor, trending upward all season. He's done great. I think he can continue to output these pretty good numbers, averaging 13, maybe not, maybe more around 10, but he's still a great option to add. Next up, we have Woody Marks. As you can see, he has been the most added, hovering right under 75%, so he just made the cut. 27 fantasy points. He could pass Nick Chubb on this offense. He is what this offense needs. Nick Chubb, maybe not so much of what they need, but Woody Marks is exactly what they need. You should add him. He will gain a lot more of a role in this offense. And they are playing Baltimore this week, who has an atrocious defense. They've had an atrocious defense so far this year. But that goes on to our next guy, Amari Demercado. Just going to check on what Carter got in this last game. Not much. But Amari Demercado is basically a cheaper Trey Benson. Trey Benson is rostered in way too many leagues. But Amari Demercado is not. If you look at it, he scored 10 points. How many did Trey Benson score? Well, actually, he's out for the season. But he scored also 10. So he's not out for the season, but he's out for a while. So he also scored 10, pretty even. Also, he's now going to be the starter. So you have to add him in your league at this point. Rostered in only about 49%. You should add him. Onto our receivers. These are the three fantasy receivers that you need to add in your league. Number one, surprised he's rostered in as many leagues as he is, but it's Khalil Shakir. Rostered at just over 75. But as you can see, it was at 75 a little bit ago when I set these. Anyway, as you can see, he's provided a very solid points per game, 11 points per game. Had a great week last week. And in addition to that, if you take away his worst week, his averages are more like 14 and a half. So you need to add him. Next up, we have Romeo Doubs. This is kind of the Woody Marks thing, where you had a great week 4 against the Dallas Cowboys. Very easy to get like Kenneth Gainwell because he is a bye. You should add him. They're coming back against Cincinnati. You should be able to take advantage of that and put up a ton of points. And our last one, I week after week I say I'm surprised that he's available. It's Hollywood Brown. Still only rostered in about half of leagues. It's honestly been going down. And that's after he had a better week than week 2 or week 3. He has averaged 12 fantasy points a game, cementing himself. He's probably better than Khalil Shakir for fantasy points, and he's still only rostered in 50%. So if he is available in your league, please take him. They're playing Jacksonville, Detroit, the Raiders. All of these matchups are great for him. You should add him, or at least keep an eye on him in the weeks to come, because he could go off. Now we're going to move on to tight ends. Again, I mentioned it is Hunter Henry, the tight end, too. If he's available, you should add him over your current tight end, period. He is cooked. He has done amazing. Scored 11, 2, 29, and 12. You should add him. He's probably the best of these guys. Next up, we've got Zach Ertz, 10th. So you can see he's went downhill from his first 2 weeks, but at least he's showing he is a valuable floor that you can add him at, and then he can recharge up to his ceiling. And lastly, we've got Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts. You might love him, you might hate him, but he's doing pretty well so far. And he's only rostered in about 60% of leagues. Went off last week. Averaged 11 fantasy points per game, the second best of these guys. But now let's move on to everyone's favorite and what everyone needs on their team, defense. The Cardinals defense, my number one pick. They are going up against the Tennessee Titans, so I don't care how bad their defense been. They are playing the Titans at them. Next up, we've got the Colts defense. They've been pretty good, honestly, and they're playing the Raiders, who have struggled a ton. Lastly, we've got the Browns defense, and they're playing the Vikings, who haven't been doing great, honestly. Their defense has been doing amazing, but the thing is, and this is true with the Colts defense also, the Raiders and the Vikings have thrown too many interceptions. I get that it's with the injury of JJ McCarthy, but they have just that that's one thing they need to improve on. That wraps up our defenses. That wraps up our week 4 waiver wire ads. If you got value from this content, then please make sure to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you next time on Fantasy First Down.